For everybody that uses the parachute example that has been used for so many times when it comes to marriage and failing, this is what Sir Hale is trying to get you guys to understand. The marriage doesn't fail. The marriage is not the parachute. The marriage itself is clout back. Oh, the marriage itself. When people say marriages fail, the airplane is sound. The engine works. It flies perfectly. We have shitty pilots and co-pilots.
Like, I get what you're saying about people not being properly cultured for marriage, but I think that argument actually proves my point even more, because I think the reason why people are not being cultured for marriage is because their parents, a lot of the parents who are raising these children who are becoming adults who haven't been cultured for marriage, their parents experienced failed marriages, and so hold on. You pass down to your children. You pass down to your children. You pass down to your children strategies that you think are going to make them successful. For example, if you went to college and had successful college, you're probably going to teach your kids you need to go to college and get a good job in certain things. If you started a business and you had success with that, that'll probably be what you teach your children. If you had a marriage and your marriage didn't fail and your marriage failed, and you lived in a culture where you saw your peers getting married and their marriage is failing, what are you going to teach your daughters? What are you going to teach your sons? You're not going to teach them to go out there and get married. You're going to teach exactly what a lot of women teach their daughters, which is work, don't depend on a man, don't do all of that. And the reason why the mothers are teaching their daughters this, and we have so much of this in feminist society right now, is because of the failures of marriages in the past. So it's like, I get what you're saying about marriages don't fail, people fail, but marriages are people. So yes, marriages fail because people fail. I don't understand how that is just semantics.
Hold on, y'all. I know a lot of people want to talk, so let's go ahead and go around and get final thoughts. Let's try to keep it like a minute and 20 seconds. Just go around for whoever wants to speak, respond, and then we'll just leave it at that. So we can go around. Hank, you got anything to say?
No, brothers, I appreciate this good conversation. I mean, it's definitely needed, especially for the audience to hear. You know, even though we're on two sides of the fence, but I'm glad we're having this. Thank you, guys.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Luis.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up something real quick. You know, Morgan Stanley did a study about where where relationships are heading, and sort of by the year 2030, it's like over 45% of women are going to be single, right? And these same companies who have taken the time and paid the money to do this research to figure out where relationships heading, and particularly focusing on women. What percentage of them are going to be single and lonely, right? On this independent bandwagon. They've already studied to figure out what are you consuming? What things should they buy and invest in, right? At this point, modern women are starting to be like the new commodity. You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to cater to them to sell a product, to sell, things to, right? To keep them, pursuing, higher status and jobs and keep them in debt and keep spending. So, like, a lot of people need to wake up to the modern machine here in America, because it's really, really dividing us all. That's all I have.
All right. We got B Madden didn't go yet, so whenever he come back on, we're gonna get to B Madden because he didn't get a chance to respond. But let's go to Shan.
I wish Clout Jones was here because I understand where he's coming from, and I understand the numbers that he's using. But I want to for everybody that uses the parachute example that has been used for so many times when it comes to marriage and failing, this is what Sir Hale is trying to get you guys to understand. The marriage doesn't fail. The marriage is not the parachute. The marriage itself is clout back. Oh, the marriage itself. When people say marriages fail, the airplane is sound. The engine works. It flies perfectly. We have shitty pilots and co-pilots. The marriage is the relationship between the pilot and the co-pilot. It is not the jet engines. Marriage is not the airplane. The airplane and the parachute and all these examples, if it failed this many times, would you take it? Yeah, it doesn't fail. It's safe as a motherfucker. The people that's trying to fly the airplane is ill-equipped. They're not pilots. They didn't go to pilot school. They took a course on eBay that they bought for $29.95, and now they think they can fly a jet. Their parents didn't know how to fly a jet. They don't know how to jump. They don't know how to pull a ripcord. They don't know how to pack a parachute. You have to be taught how to pack your parachute properly. I jumped out of helicopters in the Army. I am air assault. 10th Aviation Brigade, 10th Mountain Division, soldier. If you do not pack your rope properly, you will crash out of that helicopter. It is not the rope that fails. It's the soldiers that fail. So when people say marriage is failed, no, marriage is good. You failed. You didn't go to school. You didn't go to air assault school. You didn't go to airborne school. You didn't go to pilot school. You didn't learn how to ride a motorcycle properly. You didn't go to driving school. You didn't take the proper precautions to make sure that you're safe in operating this heavy machinery. And so when you crash, you know what you do? You blame the fucking airplane. You know what I was told as a kid? A bad mechanic blames his tools. A bad mechanic, man, this fucking wrench, nothing wrong with the wrench. A 9/16 wrench fits on a 9/16 bolt. You grabbed a 7/8. Why'd you grab the wrong wrench? Because you don't know no better. A bad mechanic blames his tools. Ladies and gentlemen, please, and I'm going to land here. When you say marriage fails, reword that, please. Say that you failed the marriage. That's all you got to reword it like. Stop saying marriages fail. Say people failed their marriages. It's a simple flip of the words. And when you say it like that and you think about it like that, you fucked up. This is where accountability comes in, because we want to blame every fucking thing else except for ourselves. And this is why I was talking earlier. Let me know when I fuck up, because all that's going to do is help me. If I don't want to hear it, I'm going to stop fucking up. Tell me every chance you get when I fuck up. So that way I'll stop fucking up and I'll give you no ammunition to shoot me with. Don't say marriages fail. Say you failed the marriage. And then you'll have a better understanding on what you're getting into.
Solid point. Go ahead, Ricky.
All right, I'm gonna go a little bit, so I apologize beforehand. The entire problems with people, the way people look at marriage and the way people handle marriages is they didn't do marriage right. Like he said, people pass lessons down, right? That marriage wasn't done right in the first place. Right? That the relationship between your parents 9 times out of 10 wasn't done right in the first place. Now, that's most cases, not all. Nobody's a monolith. But I want to address his point. He said the 60% of cars, right? And this is y'all problem. Y'all, we allow people to dictate to us what the marriage is supposed to be. Marriage is business. No, marriage is about 2 people, but you're supposed to be about your business. Right? 60% of cars can fail, but you can blame it on the manufacturer. You can blame it on a car because that car has a certain set of rules, right? A certain way that car is put together. So, of course, if I looked at a company and they had a 60% failure rate on a product, since when did your marriage become a product? Since when did your partner be something to be manufactured and built and take stats on? The whole, and I don't care, clout, y'all can use the stats or whatever, right? The reason why people use stats, the reason why people look at marriage the way it is, because you just scared to admit that you chose wrong. You chose wrong. It's okay. Players fuck up. Players fuck up, bro. But that don't make the institute bad. That don't make a marriage worse. Right? What we should be addressing is the psychological factors behind people and the way they look at relationships. Right? Not the institution of marriage. But why are people broken? Why is that they can't recognize when someone loves them? Why they don't understand what love is within themselves and with another person? Right? The things that people continue to project into themselves and out into the world, what they see as value. You know, y'all know what niggas think value is: Gucci, Louis Vuitton, right? Lamborghinis, Mercedes Benzes, BMWs, the big house. Like I said, at the end of the day, as men, I do not allow you guys, society, or a woman or another person dictate what I am. And once we realize that as men, we'll get a lot further along as men. You define you. Not what the next man sees, not what the next person sees, because no one took your journey. Success is in the eye of beholder, because none of y'all know where another man started. That's all I got, Jerry.